Welcome back to the Fit Hippie Dad YouTube channel. My name is Scott. The last few weeks, I have been posting Fit Hippie Dad fitness tips, and we're on number 5 today. And before we get to that, I would like to ask that you subscribe, that you watch the videos. The shorts get a lot more views than these longer form videos, but I'm going to keep plugging away with it, and we'll see what happens. So today, I'm going to go over the Fit Hippie Dad fitness tip number 5, review the first 4, and also talk about the why and the story behind Fit Hippie Dad, which I've talked about in the past, but it's been a while. So I would like to do that again today. So the first Fit Hippie Dad fitness tip was about empty calories and not doing that. The Starbucks, even the alcohol, all the sugary drinks that we consume, it's calories in, calories out for the most part. It's more involved than that, but nevertheless, you waste calories every day. You have so many calories that you burn in a day. Your basic metabolic rate and then your active calories, very much what the Apple Watch does. You have your total calories and then your active calories, and it all works together. And if you want to waste your calorie input for the day on empty calories, by all means do it, but minimize that. Please, it will help you lose weight, or at least keep your weight off. Number 2, the fitness tip was NEAT, which stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So that is just the calories you burn by just moving every day. It could be going for a walk because you parked farther away from the store, taking stairs instead of the elevator, fidgeting, just doing things that aren't necessarily exercise. Could even be vacuuming inside, like here would be the condo. It all adds up. It's amazing, especially going back to the Apple Watch that I just referenced, how many active calories you get for the day by doing household chores and just going about your daily life. So that was number 2. 3 was the benefits of exercise for depression, mild, moderate, and anxiety, and the endorphins you get that are released by working out. It's like a runner's high. I've experienced it many times, and studies seem to indicate that exercise is at least on par with the drugs that are out there for depression and anxiety. Number 4 was 10,000 steps, the importance of that. And actually, after research, it was about 7,000 steps with the benefits you get. And I listed a whole bunch of statistics in that particular video. Now, number 5, counting calories, daily counting calories every day. But before I get to that, though, I'd like to take a moment to talk about the why in my story. So I have, and I'll explain this Fit Hippie Dad thing too again. I'm fit. I work out every day. I'm not a hippie, like a 60s hippie, but I have hip replacements. I've had 2 full hip replacements, and I had a revision on my left side. I'm sorry, my right side. My left hip is going on 25 years. And at some point I will have to go in and get it revised. But I am very cognizant of my hip replacements because there are certain precautions, like you really shouldn't do high impact sports anymore. It puts a lot of stress on the artificial hip. But I try to live my life as if I don't have them. You would never know that I did unless I told you, like I am now in this video. And when I found out, it was backing up a little bit, it was a vascular necrosis, no blood flow through the hip socket. Think Bo Jackson back in the 90s, what happened to him. He had an accident in the football field that contorted his hip in such a way that it stopped the blood flow to his hip socket. They don't know what caused that to me, but nevertheless, I had no blood flow go through the hip sockets. It was just a matter of time before I needed those hip replacements, so I did. Now, I was heavy when I first found out back in 97. I was about 250 pounds. Top weight was 248. And I've been down to about 158, 160. And I've maintained that for almost 30 years. And so that's the why. I can offer something to people. I'm 56. I've kept my weight off for almost 30 years. How many people can say that? I can't. And I should be proud of that. And I should promote that. And that's what this YouTube channel is about, sending that message. So that leads me to the Fit Hippie Dad fitness tip number 5, counting calories. What do I mean by that? So one of the things I did back in 97, 98 was I made a conscious decision to count the calories I consumed for the day. This is before my Fitness Pal. This is before apps. There were no smartphones at the time. And it's not precise, but it's fairly accurate. And I didn't like to weigh myself. I still don't, but you can tell. And when you do weigh yourself, you can see that you're going down that path. I read something once, I wish I could find it, but to come up with your energy expenditure for the day, basic metabolic rate plus your activity level. You take your weight times 10, that's basic metabolic rate. And you can Google this, and it's the calculator's online. It's about perfect. Like, it's about, for me, whenever I do that, it's 1,600 calories a day, basic metabolic rate. So there's calculators out there that will show you that. And then activity level, multipliers. So for me, being very active, I wound up being, instead of 16 times 10, it was 16 times 5. Thus, my calorie expenditure for the day was about 2,500 calories. So that's what I tried to do. And I've done that ever since. So counting calories. And you can use my Fitness Pal, but what I did back 30 years ago was I would just guesstimate, if you're having spaghetti or something, you don't know for sure, but you get good at it. And it doesn't have to take a lot of time. Like empty calories from my Fit Hippie Dad fitness tip number 1. If you're consuming Starbucks drink, you add that for the day. That's pretty easy. It tells you. And this was even back in the 90s, before there was a calorie listing on restaurants and things like that. But you could do the research and you can ballpark it. I was going to say guesstimate it, but let's ballpark it. And, and I would even throw in a 200 calorie wiggle room. So you don't know, but you can get close. And now it's so easy with my Fitness Pal. I did it a couple of years ago to lose about 5 pounds, and it's so much easier, even the free version. And now it's broken down if you wanted to meet your protein goal for the day, fat goal, carb goal, whatever it is. It's so much easier. So that's what it did, a few years ago for the 5-pound weight loss. But it helped me 30 years ago to lose a lot of weight and to maintain it. And I actively did that for many, many years. And then I wouldn't say I've ever gotten away from it, but what I do is I just know, like, generally speaking, Sunday, I probably exceeded my 2,500 calories. So the next day, I know that and I adjust. And if you weigh yourself, you can get a good idea. Now, weight fluctuates, so depending what time of the day, things like that, bowel movements, but you get an idea. So I would encourage you, to help you lose weight, from my Fit Hippie Dad fitness tip number 5, just keep track of your calories for the day. Get an idea. And nowadays with technology, it's so much easier. And weigh yourself on occasion and just track it, and you'll be surprised. And you'll get to some point where you don't necessarily have to do it all the time, but you still know, you still have an idea. And that works for me. So I would encourage that. So as we wrap up, I'm going to keep doing these Fit Hippie Dad fitness tips. I don't remember what number 6 is offhand. I could actually tell you, looking at my computer here, if it'll work. Not eating 3 hours before bed, not eating at night, which I must confess, I did that for a long time and I've gotten away from that, but we'll talk about that, right? So as we wrap up, thank you. I hope this has been encouraging and beneficial. We'll see what shorts come out of this and what kind of views I get. So until next time, thank you. And before I forget, like, subscribe, and thank you, and God bless.